I feel like one of those 3 a.m. prank channels like Hype Mike talking about something like this, but hey, someone's got to do it. Recently on TikTok, I found this cult, and I don't know what to think of it because there's 2 paths you can take to learn about this cult. One's very calm and tame, and it kind of leaves a lot of open ended questions, and the other is just bat crap crazy, but they both lead to the same juncture as I found through investigation. I can tell you the calm version of this story, but I cannot do you justice on how crazy the other version of this story is, which we'll get to in time. So, the calm version of this story is that the Stitch Veneration has been around for God knows how long. It's a covenant of weirdos that meet in the middle of the woods, wear masks, and sport cloaks that are either gray or red. And they, for some reason, collect teeth as some sort of currency and praise a man known as Wilfred Stitch. No depiction is ever given of Wilfred Stitch, just this image of him being gray, tall, and white eyes. Kind of like a skinwalker in a sense. But it's completely open ended. The cult's goals, objectives, and even initiations are all left a mystery after that. But then there's this story.
This is the terrifying footage that was filmed on the top of Mount Everest when a group of scientists looking for a 500 million year old library found something very, very spooky instead. They found an ancient book that was filled with a language that no one had ever seen before. And when they put the book inside test tubes, they found that they were suddenly able to read all of the words in the book. The next day, the scientists quit their job as the word quickly spread about this book, and people met up in robes to show the community their masks, and this community was called the Stitch Veneration. In modern days, they call themselves Stitchers, and members will wear this symbol on their ring, as well as cloaks that are either red or black, and many members actually have this symbol tattooed on them, and many people still make the masks today.
Yeah, you're not crazy or on any hardcore drugs. That man said straight faced they found a library that is 500 million years old. To predate this in the world history, 500 million years ago is when the first vertebrates, i.e., fish, ever came on the earth. So, unless the fish wrote this library and somehow constructed it, it's just not possible because the first Homo sapiens, the earliest Homos to appear in East Africa, appeared 2.5 to 2 million years ago. So the only answer is aliens. Of course, it has to be aliens. But no matter how you tell this story, it all leads down the same crossroad. As I found, it leads to a very weird indie rock band. Unfortunately, this is where the crackpot conspiracy comes to an end, and we start getting some actual facts based in reality. And it all leads back to the indie rock band of Covey. And from them, we'll completely unmask what the Veneration actually is. If you take a look at the picture here, which is the lead singer of Covey sitting behind some painted mannequin heads, you can see that the eye shapes in the 2 in the front match very similarly with the masks that we've seen before. On top of that, if you take a look at this poster that Covey had for an event they were doing on April 1st, and put this alongside the book that we've seen as well as the ring that we've seen, they all share the same symbol of that arrowhead with the plus sign. Not only that, if you look under Covey, you'll see those moon runes that are very depicted throughout the book of Doomsday as we see. And didn't I say before that Wilfred Stitch was just a shadowy figure with white eyes? And who else would be the head honcho of this poster but a shadowy figure with white eyes? Now you could say this is all a one-off spoof and that they're just using the Veneration's, imagery as a way of publicity. But if you go to Covey's own website and take a look at their page, everything just looks exactly the same of what we've seen before. You're hit with the moon runes, that weird arrowhead with the cross through it, and if you go down far enough to the Freddy pin or even the vinyls or mugs that they have, the monsters on these albums and pins look very similar to the masks that we've seen before. So what does this leave us with? Well, it leaves us with the fact that I believe Covey started the Veneration as their fandom. That is what they call their fans, and being a part of the Veneration is being a part of Covey's fandom. It's very simple that they created all these moon runes, symbolisms to just kind of bring people into the fandom. But the story of the Stitch Veneration kind of got hijacked, taken over by people trying to clout chase off of it and kind of muddy the waters of its true intentions. Making it seem like this cult that lives in the woods and gathers teeth for a living. Or it's a cult that was founded by two crackpot scientists who went mentally insane after staring into a Necrocomicon. Who knows? But I do feel bad for them because they kind of hijacked what the Veneration actually is. But in the end, all roads do tend to lead to Covey because Covey shares more symbolism with this story of a wannabe cult veneration than anything. And I know there will always be people out there who say Covey is just a front man to indoctrinate people into the Veneration. Fine, let's go down that avenue then. Then what is the Veneration's actual goals? What's the initiation process? What does that mysterious book say? You see, when it comes to cults, there are some things that you have evidence for. Like when Alex Jones went into Northern California and found that cult of high functioning society gathering in mysterious cloaks having weird ceremonies. That has some basis of reality, of the Illuminati. But with this cult, it's just so far fetched and all over the place that it's kind of like untangling rat tails. It makes no sense at the end of the day. Plus, the variations of this story differ so much that there's hardly any similarities. The only thing they share is that they wear masks. At the end of the day, I just think that this is what it is. It's just the Covey fandom. And, well, if the Veneration is real, then what do you have to do to become an enemy of the Veneration? What is their, end goal in all this, you could say? It's the weird thing about cults that have me. They always have these weird morals and obligations, but we usually know what they are or have people tell us what they are. But with the Veneration, people just make them seem like they exist purely to exist. That's it. See ya. Hi, welcome to the bonus footage section of this video. While looking at this topic, I did come across some funny Google searches that I just didn't mean to find, and one of them was Saint Homo Bonus. I'm literally 12 years old, who is apparently the patron saint of business people, tailors, shoemakers, and cloth workers. I'm sorry, but how could you say, hey, I'm part of the patron saint of Homo Bonus?